Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Thank you for the opportunity given to me. First of all, I would like to thank for International Conference on Mathematics and Science Education Committee for giving me the opportunity to present my research result and extraordinary appreciation for their efforts in organizing this international conference during COVID-19 pandemic. Salute to the committee. May we all be given health by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Well, I will just present the result of my research entitled The Development of Device Learning Based on TPACK, Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge in the form of hyper-content modules in electronic course by myself, Salwa Rufaida, and Nur Fadila as a co-authors. Next, background. As we know that facing the 21st century learning era, where students are required to be able to develop and integrate cognitive abilities with their skills. In this case, the integration between mastery of subject matter with critical thinking skill, communication, collaboration, and creativity is expected to help students achieve success in their future careers. The skills are expected to affect his ability to use his understanding to solve real-world problems. Nielsen Consumer and Media View in 2016 that students who are Z generation mostly use television, internet, and radio as the main media to get information. Internet access is an important requirement for students today. This demand certainly have implications for learning patterns in the classroom that have been directed toward 21st century learning and pay attention to future needs, including developing a learning technology that is expected to make the learning process more effective and efficient. One of learning technology developed today is TPACK learning, or Technological Pedagogical Content Knowledge based on hypercontent module. Next, method. This type of study is research and development, which aim to produce learning device and test the validity, effectiveness, and practicality of the product in the field. In this study, a device learning based on TPACK in the form of hypercontent modules in electronic course developed by Bohr and Gall model. Okay, you can see that, which begin with information gathering basis as need assessment with observation and literature review stage. Then, plan product by developing product goals and design. The product format is developed preliminary from a product and then preliminary field testing, main product revision, main field testing, operational product revision, operational field testing, final product revision, and dissemination and implementation. Okay, this is R&D Bohr and Gall models. Next, result and discussion. The research begins with gathering information as a description of the need assessment in the field for the product to be developed. According to observation, obtain information that students still feel comfortable with lecture-centered learning. At the time given task or project, the student make the internet as a primary source of information, but is still not able to sort out the appropriate results. Electronics is one branch of physics that study about with current electrical in an electronic device. The content of the material is the course has never been obtained by students when they are at the middle or high school level. So students have difficulty in the process of reconstructing knowledge if they only read thick books because they tend to feel tiring and boring. And according to the interview, students only focus on books and lab reports which are thick and not interesting to read. Okay, and then at this phase, of planning, developing, and testing, the product began to be designed to create a hypercontent modules. The module is made as efficient and as possible with some QR code that serve student navigation tools to access the unit of material they want to learn. Okay, the QR code contains material content in the form of video, audio, journal text, presentation material, quizzes or questions, as well as other interesting content such as the following image. Next, you can see the visual one that show the one page of hypercontent module display in the electronic course. In one unit of material, there are several subunits that are displayed through the QR code, which contain the material content. Students can access the content of the QR codes by scanning using the QR code reader application and available in your smartphone, so that a student can obtain learning resources and information quickly and accurately related to the content of subject matter through technology. Next. Okay. According to planning, development, testing, and revision result of hypercontent model, dissemination and implementation tasks are carried out to measure the validity, practicality, and effectiveness of the product being developed that can be seen with data on student learning outcomes on electronic course before and after implementation. You can see that in the table 1. Table 1 shows that in 2017-2018, students only achieved an average value of 66.65, yes, and 20% of students did not pass the electronic course. In 2018-2019, the average value of student was of the better level in 68.60, and 18% of students didn't pass the electronic course. Thus, in 2019-2020, lecture takes the initiative to implement a device learning based on TPACK in the form of hypercontent modules in electronic course as a form of innovative learning strategy with the hope that students would get better value through the reconstruction of knowledge based on their ability in technology, literacy technology. You can see that there is an increase in the average value in electronic course to 72.64. Although the increase is not significant, it is better than the average value of student achievement in the previous 2 academic years. Next, you can see the conclusion. Okay, according to result, the development of device learning based on TPACK, technological pedagogical content knowledge in the form of hypercontent model in electronic course, it can be concluded that 1. TPACK learning is valid, practical, and effective to increase the student learning outcomes and skills needed by students in 21st century framework. 2. TPACK learning can help lecturers to increase their competence and professionalism. And then, device learning based on TPACK can maximize the ability of students to understand the material content, improve the quality of learning with technology, and make the presentation of course more interesting as an alternative linking the acquisition of knowledge through the provision of knowledge verbal theory with practicum. Okay, for all my presentation, I apologize if there is a mistake. In fact, if there are questions related to the result of this research. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.